And so it's an incredible honor to me to welcome to the stage Nathan Masters.
Thanks, John. Thank you. All right, y'all. Well, first off, I want to take another moment to just say thank you, John. Putting this together, we've been around doing this a little while. We know how hard this is. And man, you have knocked it out of the park. So another hand for John. All right, well, it takes a huge effort to bring us together in this community to do this. So again, I'm eternally grateful for your hard work there and all the volunteers, everybody that showed up to enjoy slingshots together. But before I begin, I want to kind of set a tone for this. I want to speak quietly and reverently because what we have here is really special. It's not, it's exciting, but what brings us here deserves that reverence. What we hold in our hand, what brought us here, that simple tool, just a slingshot, fork stick, a little bit of rubber, some steel, is powerful, really powerful. And yet when we draw it back, release the shot, something really profound and special happens. Every one of you has experienced it. The noise of the day kind of fades away. The world narrows, and intention becomes action right there in that moment. And you can do it over and over again, and it's free for everyone. And in that moment, we're fully present. And we don't really have a lot of opportunities in our world to do that today. The slingshots provide that for us. And if you look around, there's probably not a stranger in the crowd. You might have come in not knowing anyone, but you're going to walk away with a friend. That's pretty damn special. And we come here together to share something common. It's that moment before the shot breaks. That's what we're all here for. That's what really, when we distill it down, the moment that we make that shot, whether we hit or we miss, we're in a place of just pure presence. The sound of the hit or the miss and the joy that follows is what keeps us coming back. We just do it over and over again. We can't stop. And that's why we're here. Not because of the slingshot itself, but because of all these great things that happen around it. And that's special. And yeah, slingshots, they grow on trees. They're as simple as they get. They don't require anyone's permission. They don't require wealth. They're the embodiment of freedom. And because of that, we're all meeting here on level ground. That's pretty dang special. There's not a lot of opportunities in our world today to meet in that regard. So, when I look out on you guys, I feel a whole lot of love and friendship, and that's just special. So when I was about 4 years old, maybe 5, I was really blessed. I got to go to preschool at my great grandpa's farm. I spent all my time with my great grandparents. So I called him Granddaddy Joe Rampy. He was the biggest man in my world. He was a crack shot with a slingshot. My uncles told me stories of him shooting rabbits on the run with a bolt action 22. But what was special about him is when I was around him, I felt safe. I felt capable. I felt like I was seen. I mattered. And I was always enamored. He always had a slingshot in his pocket to shoot rats in the chicken house. And of course, every little boy wants to be just like their role model, their hero. And I begged him to make me one. And I remember we went out to the apple tree out behind the house. He whittled me a fork, cut some red rubber just like his, made me a slingshot. And I remember going down to the chicken house one day. I remember the smells. I remember the light coming through the boards. I remember a rat coming out. He said, "Get it, son." And I reared back and shot, killed that rat. And I felt like the king of the world. It was a really special thing. And on his deathbed, I saw him in college as he was passing. And he gave me 2 really important things. One, he said, never go to bed angry. But that wasn't the most important thing. He said, it wasn't you. And I said, what? He said, it wasn't you that hit that rat. I was standing behind you. Yeah. That was awesome. That was awesome. I was on top of the world. When it happened, he didn't correct me. He just smiled. And him telling me that it wasn't me, that's stuck with me. He took the shot and he let me believe it was mine. That was beautiful. That day, he gave me that win. And it's carried with me forever. And he didn't do it because I earned it. He did it because he loved me. And he knew that the feeling, I'm going to tear up here, sorry. He knew that feeling would grow in me. And that was the biggest gift in the world. That kind of generosity that stays with a person, shapes a person. And I didn't know it then, but standing in that chicken house, thinking that I'd shot that rat at the age of 4, I had no idea where it would lead. It stuck with me. I've been a marksman ever since. I've loved slingshots ever since. But what I had no idea of is that I would meet some of my closest friends of my entire life because of that fork stick. And I was staying shoulder to shoulder with people from all over the world that were strangers that quickly became friends. I had no idea how this would shape the way I spend my days or feed something deep inside of me, but it did. Because of people, because of fellowship, because of connection, like what we're experiencing here together. And it's rare to find work that feeds your soul. And it's rare to find friendships that feel real and steady. And I think we've all experienced that in this community. Real, true friendship. And here we are, together. I've seen what happens when someone smiles after their first good shot. You've all seen what happens when somebody gets their first good shot, how it washes over them. I've seen confidence show up in someone who didn't know they had it. And somewhere along the way, I realized something. That maybe this right here is how the world changes to be a better place. One smile, one slingshot at a time. It's easy to overlook how small that is. A smile, fork, stick, rubber, some steel balls, a few minutes on the range. But think about it. A kid shows up, unsure if he can do it. The next minute, he's blasting cans. You got a smile on his face. He's mastered a skill or on his path to mastering a skill that he didn't have before. Maybe a man shows up and his work grinds him down. Go out, shoot slingshot in the backyard. The weight of the world just slips away for just a minute where you can find that little bit of focus, a little bit of quiet. And that's really important today. You've probably seen it here. A stranger might show up all alone, and they leave with a handshake, a new friend, and probably at least 3 slingshots. And nothing about this makes the news, and that's great, but it changes something. And enough of these moments stack up together, you start to shape a life, you start to shape a community, and that's what we're doing here. And enough lives are touched and shaped by slingshots, you start to change the world. That's how this works. That kind of connection that we all share here is really a rare thing. We don't get opportunities in our daily lives to have this, so we're blessed to have it. And the reason it's rare is because it's so damn genuine. We're here sharing the joy around just slingshots. Just shooting them together, having fun together, talking about them, and all the other myriad of things that might bring us together and have commonalities in our lives. And in the world that we're living in today, that sort of thing is necessary. It's required. And if something that important is necessary, then it's absolutely worth protecting. Because when people feel connected, when they see each other for who they are, share some common ground, they act differently. They're more patient, they're more generous, more willing to help. And that spreads, and it does it quietly. And that's how the world gets better. I've seen it happen so many times, more than I can count. Someone struggling on the line, frustrated they can't make a hit. Then someone steps up to step in and say, here's how you do it. They're not doing it to show off. They're doing it just to help. A small adjustment here, a quiet word of encouragement, and then everything changes. Not always the shot, but the person changes because they've been seen. And that moment stays with them. And if we got any young ones that are awake in here, I want to speak specifically to you. I want you to hear something really clear. This belongs to you. You can get really good at it. You can find mastery with it. You can steady your hands. You can calm your mind. You can give from your heart. You can learn what it feels like to work at something until you find improvement. You have an opportunity for real change. And that matters, y'all. Because how you do this, how we're doing this together, that's shaping the world that we live in, one little bit at a time. And excellence isn't just about hitting the target. It's about who you are when you miss. And some of you already know that in your hearts. All of you do, actually. It's about lifting others up, protecting the joy. That's leadership. We don't have to fix the whole world, but we can shape the space around us. We can welcome someone. We can hand them a slingshot. We can cheer them on when they hit. We can empathize when they miss. We can stand behind them. We can give them a win. And that's enough. I think about my granddad a lot. And what stayed with me wasn't that shot. It was that he loved me enough to give me that win. And we get to do that every single time we come together, every time we engage with a slingshot. So yeah, slingshots grow on trees, they're simple. But this, what we got right here, this joy, this fellowship, this connection, only grows if we choose to grow it. So let's protect it, let's pass it on. Let's be generous with the win. And let's keep the joy growing, y'all. I really appreciate y'all being here and everything you've done for the sport. And the love that's in this room, let's take it and spread it through the world. Thank you, guys.